there, Chelsea here, MonarchAlley. I am a vintage lover, thrifter, and part-time reseller, and today I have my weekend what sold video for you, plus 3 tips on how to source better inventory. Let's do it. As you'll find out pretty quickly, my sales were pretty low over the weekend. I only made 4 sales, although I do feel like I sold some quality items, like with good ASP, average sale price. The reason is that I have not had a lot of time to do a lot of heavy listing. I try to list at least 3 items a day, but I've had several days where I have not had the time to list due to my family's crazy schedule and transitioning back to school and work really picking up. I work full time. So anyway, that's why I'm adding on some additional tips at the end of the video with better ways to source better inventory. The first item that sold are these White Mountain clogs. They are like a tan suede with a cork wedge heel. So cute. The soles are really clean and like hardly used. They're size 7.5. And I picked these up because I thought these would be great fall style. I feel like the 70s kind of leather suede look is a thing. I should probably operate off of actual information and not feelings, but here we are. They did actually sell within, I think, a week or 2 of me listing them. Pretty new listing. They sold for $17 on Mercari, and the buyer did pay shipping through a Mercari shipping label as well. So I made a little over $14 off of these awesome clogs. The next sale I was pretty excited about because it's this cool varsity jacket that I got at a garage sale for $5. This is a brand called Straight to Hell. It's very expensive if you buy it new. So I thought that there'd be a demand, and I was right. This jacket sold within a week of listing it for $40 on Poshmark. Now, you get it new for about $150. So I kind of actually started around the halfway point, $65, $70 was my listing. But when someone sent me a $40 offer this weekend, I felt like that was pretty fair for a used jacket. So yeah, $40 into $32 on Poshmark. And another thing that's great is that this is kind of a heavier jacket. So to make this sale on a different platform, the buyer actually would have paid a higher shipping rate than Poshmark's. A lot of times we feel like Poshmark's shipping rate is just too high and unbearable for buyers, but I probably would have had to charge about 10 or 15 on a different platform for this heavy jacket. It's about 3 pounds. But on Poshmark, if you ship something, anything under $5 is that like $8 rate. I'm probably not getting that rate exactly right because they change it. I don't know what it is right now. But what I'm trying to say is that anything under that 5-pound limit ships for that rate. So the buyer actually got a really good deal on shipping and a good deal on this $150 retail jacket. The next sale is actually another jacket. It's this J. Crew utility jacket. I'm backing up so you can see it. Hopefully you can still hear me. This is J. Crew Factory, and you can tell by the 2 dots here that indicate that it's J. Crew Factory, but it still is a cool utility jacket. These are kind of a fall staple. So when I saw this at the bins in Colorado, I decided to go for it, and I'm glad that I did because I probably paid about $3 for this jacket based on the weight, and it sold for $24. Let me see, $24 on Mercari, and my earnings after Mercari fees are about $20. I didn't put them in my spreadsheet apparently, but that's kind of where we're sitting. So I feel like that's a really good flip. I had it listed for $30 and someone sent the offer, but they are paying shipping through Mercari shipping label, so I don't have to pay for shipping on that. So yeah, this is definitely like I said, kind of a fall staple, a nice olive green utility jacket, and I'm excited to send this out to the buyer. My last sale of the weekend, like I said, I didn't have a lot of time to list this week, so unfortunately I didn't have a lot of sales this weekend. It's just kind of how it works out sometimes. But my last sale is this really beautiful dress by Akemi and Ken, which is an Anthropologie brand. This is a black and white fit and flare dress. Here's the label here. Let me show you. This is definitely a sought after brand. Can you load? Can you load? Okay. This is definitely a sought after brand, and it was a beautiful dress that I actually got for myself. And unfortunately, it just didn't fit the way I wanted it to, so I ended up having to resell it. I did actually wear it once or twice before I decided that I didn't love the fit, so I did get some good use out of it, and now I pretty much made my money back on what I spent buying it on Poshmark. So that's always fun too, is being able to buy an item used at the thrift store or on Poshmark or another platform, and then wear it a few times and get some good use out of it, and then be able to still flip it again. Like, that is awesome. So this dress sold for $23 on Poshmark, and so after Poshmark's fees, I made $18.40 on it. Yeah, not bad to get that back. And yeah, I think I wore it to a couple of events, so I'm really happy with that flip. My first tip for sourcing better inventory would be to take your time. A lot of times, for me at least, I'm rushing or I'm distracted because I have the kids with me and I don't have the time to look through every item on the rack or to look up comps as much as maybe I would like. I know for a fact that I have passed up Bolo brands because I haven't taken the time to look them up. And I also know that I've picked up a few bad buys because I didn't take the time to examine the garment as well or the item as well, or just take the time to look up what it's really worth. It's fun to operate on instinct, and I'll have to say I do it a lot, but if you want to source better inventory that might make you more money or sell a little bit faster, you really have to take the time to do the research while you're looking, unless you firmly know exactly what you're looking for. When I am looking up comps, I find that I am picking up better items or putting items back on the rack that I know, through looking at the comps aren't really going to do me that well. How do I look up the comps? Well, I look at Poshmark and eBay because you can see some price discrepancies there. A lot of times on Poshmark, people put things in a bundle and get a discount, and that price is not reflected in the sold listing price. So you can accidentally find yourself picking up items that you think are going to sell for $50 when really they sold in a bundle for $25 or something like that. So that's something to note. Always look up the comps. And I do compare with eBay comps as well because it is a slightly different demographic and it is a wider audience. eBay has far more customers than Poshmark. So to look at what sells on eBay, since I will be listing on eBay as well, can be really beneficial in showing me what the true comparable values are and, how many are listed, what the sell-through rate is, things like that. Taking the time to really look at all these details can make a huge difference in your efficiency in listing and the money you end up making. My second tip for sourcing better items is to get to know your thrift shops or the places that you're sourcing. The more you go, the more you'll start to discover what their general store vibe is, right? You can kind of guess what type of items they might be receiving consistently, and you can get a good idea of what their pricing strategies are. The more times you flip through their racks, you'll get a little bit more accustomed to how they price certain types of clothing, shirts, jackets, jeans. They all have different pricing structures at different stores. So you can see if they're pricing for the brand or if they're pricing for the item. You can also get a good idea of what types of brands are often dropped off at that particular thrift shop. So I'm not telling you to go thrifting more, but I'm not telling you to go thrifting more, because doing that type of research really helps you get to know your store and know what type of inventory they're going to be receiving. That way, if you're looking for a particular type of item, whether it's a seasonal item or type of clothing, you might remember when your thrift shops typically put out that type of item or what thrift shop has vintage versus trendier items. For example, there's one shop I go to for athletic wear, but a different shop I go to for vintage home decor pieces. And I know that through my experience, and I can't give you more time. I've been doing this for 2 years. I can't give you more time, but I can give you tips on how you can kind of speed up your learning process, probably a lot faster than I did. It took me a while to figure out which shops carry what, and that's because I wasn't making the effort to learn what they carry. This process might also lead you to source at different places that you didn't traditionally think of. I mentioned thrift shops a couple times, but perhaps going to a consignment store and looking at the types of items that they sell, getting to know their pricing strategies, and then finding out when their sales are could be huge for sourcing quality inventory that has already been examined for the purpose of resale. Think of how beneficial that is. Someone else has already looked this item over, they priced it somewhat accordingly, and you can go in and either get it for a deal or flip it for more money online because you have a wider audience to pull from. My third tip for sourcing better inventory is kind of a twofer. Step one involves, again, doing a little bit of research into what brands are selling right now and for good money on Poshmark, eBay, or whatever platform you sell on. On Poshmark, it's actually really fun to sort through the sold listings. You can sort by price range and the brands and see what brands are selling really well in a certain price range. You can also look at certain categories and do some mental notes about what brands are selling well and for good money in those categories. The next step is to take a few brands that you notice selling for good money consistently right now on those platforms and sign up for those brands' email newsletters. That is, if they are a current brand. The benefit, of course, is to see what type of items that brand is pushing out right now, what's trending, what they're selling, and then also to get notifications of great sales that they might be offering. I've actually utilized this to buy items that were on heavy discount on Madewell's website and then flip them online for a pretty good profit. Of course, everything comes with a caveat, and remember, if you are buying clearanced or heavily discounted items from a store's website, it may mean that the market just didn't love it, but you can also look at that same item on Poshmark, eBay, other platforms, and find out if people are buying it there for a slightly discounted price. But again, you can look at the comps and see if perhaps similar items are selling right now, and if you get it for a good enough price, keep your cost of goods low enough, and you're able to double or triple your money, well, hey, that's a good sale to me. The benefit of sourcing this way through clearance events is that you get new with tag items that are easy to list. Everything's current on the website, so you can get some great information for your listing, like description and keywords. It's funny sharing these tips with you because now I'm getting myself pumped up to do a little bit more and source a little bit better, and I'm looking forward to see what effect it has on my overall profits. I hope this information was valuable to you. If you have any tips on sourcing better items, please drop them below and we can learn from each other. Those are all the tips I have for now. I thank you so much for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.